Page 38, Evening Guitars. Nothing new here. We're using a bunch of stuff we've already used. And the pentascale, it looks like we're in the E minor pentascale here. It doesn't matter. You put your hands where the notes say to put them and go with it. Let's look it over. It's 2 pages long. Treble and bass clef, 3/4 time now. So it's 3 beats in a measure, but we're still counting quarter notes. And we got a dotted half notes and quarter notes. We can handle all that, I think. Take it one hand at a time and make sure we understand what each hand is doing, and then we'll try and put them together. At the beginning, the right hand is 5th finger on the B here, and so I'm here. That's 1, 2, 3, 1. Remember, the dotted half notes the same as 3 quarter notes. So here it gets 3 counts. And then the third measure, quarter notes. An F sharp, 2, 3. That takes you down to the measure 13, and your quarter notes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, rest, 1, 2, rest. Well, that was fun. Measure 17. Well, now you get the E minor chord. 1, 2, 3. Try and get the notes down at the same time if you can. Remember, I'm just lowering the whole hand down gently. And then the measure 21 is the F sharp, A, and a B. If I'm not sure what the chords are or what the note, you spell out the chord. That is, you start with the bottom note, it's an F sharp, and then the next note is an A, and the next note is a B, and you just keep doing until you spell out the chord, and you get it. 2. Okay. Go down to measure 27, is it? Where you get quarter notes or melody again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, and then measure 32. End of the line. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. The left hand does the last chord. Left hand, speaking of it, begin you get the E minor chord. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And measure 5, again it's an F sharp, an A, and a B. You spell out the chord. 1, 2. And measure 14 at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3. And the left hand gets the melody. Yay! Okay, isn't this fun? And then at the bottom, the last measure, the left hand comes over the right to do the E and the G together. Use any fingers you want, I don't care. Just whichever. We usually don't use thumb too much when we're reaching like this because the thumb is a short one. We want to use one of the other longer fingers. So it's up to you on what fingers you use. Put the hands together. Let's see how it works. It's here at the beginning. It's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. 1. Just make sure you're holding the dotted half notes down. Let's go down to measure 13 when things get a little weird. It's all quarter notes. 1, 2. They're just all jumbled up. You just take it one beat at a time and go with it. Again, here, then left hand. Now the left hand gets the note. Hold the left hand down. Make sure you hold the dotted half notes down. Once you have the hands put together, get rid of the hesitations. Keep it slow as fine, but no hesitations. And we can think about the articulation. Well, the slurs, they're telling you to connect the notes. That's fine. It's not a phrase, it's a slur. But if you can find where the phrases are, you can lift up between the phrases. So what is a musical sentence? What is a musical thought here? So to me, it's like that whole first line was a thought. And then again. So I'd lift up at the end of each line. And then the last 2 lines I'd connect it all together. Until the last measure you can lift up. And then that's pick up to the melody. That's my impression of the phrasing. Maybe you'd rather just connect them all. It's interpretation. At the end, the last couple lines or so, measure 29, you hit, lift up. I would connect all of these quarter notes together until you get to the staccatos. So all of measure 31 is here. I connect all that together. Here, now, for the articulation. Now, I went quickly because I wanted to hear the phrasing. You take it at your speed. Dynamics, well, they're telling you to bring out the melody, and they're giving you the two dynamics. I wish they wouldn't do that. You should only get the one dynamic, the MF, mezzo forte at the beginning, and you know to apply that to the melody, and everything else is in the background. So you already know to play the chord soft. You don't need a P, is what I'm saying. So whatever you think moderately loud is, you keep these in the background. Because as I'm playing these, I want to hear that. Don't drown it out. And I'm not going to play this louder because I'm playing this. I'm going to play the melody where it goes, and everything else got to be in the background. So you don't need the P in the second line either. Now measure 14, you get a crescendo. We're going to crescendo up to forte or loud, but we're not going to get loud until measure 17. And so you're moderately loud here at measure 13, moderately loud, come up just a hair, come up just a hair, and that's loud. Most of your crescendo is actually going to happen in measure 16. There, plan it out. If you don't plan it out, you'll be loud by measure 15. You'll be loud immediately. Be loud already. And no, I don't want to be loud there. It's got to go up to measure 17 is loud, and the chords are in the background. You don't need that P. And as far as playing loud and soft, again, I use weight to push the notes down. So I simply adjust how much weight I'm using on the volume. Soft or moderately, I'm using a certain amount of weight. For loud, I'm using more weight. Loud, heavier, light. So I'm just using more weight, and let the wrist collapse. Don't stiffen up and stay relaxed. When you get to measure 29, you're going to go down to moderately soft. So at measure 29, you're loud. So you just go down to moderately soft. Both hands, because there's no melody here. And soft here. Now speed with motion. Well, isn't that helpful? Think about people dancing a waltz. 1, 2, 3. That's what. That's about how fast it might feel. When you get a retardando, measure 33. We're going to slow down. Here, okay. If people were actually dancing to this, I would not slow down because it messes them up. Just keep going until the end. Now they've added pedal, and it would be kind of nice because one of the things we use pedal for is to color or add overtones to longer held notes. And these B's, I mean, you play them, they just sit there and ugh. But if I could add the overtones, it adds a little more color to it, and that's really all they're doing here. Until you get to the end, I'll measure 31 here. They're adding all that overtones to that. They're blending all that together. That's fine. You want to use pedal. I'm going to push the pedal down right after I play the notes, everywhere it's used. I'm going to lift it up after I play the note in the next measure if it's connected. For instance, at the beginning, I push the note down first and then the pedal. If I want to connect it to the third measure, I'm going to lift the pedal after I play the note in the third measure. This ensures sound. If I don't want to connect it to the third measure, I'm going to lift the pedal up with the hands. That way there's a little silence, so it depends on what you want. You have to adjust it to what you need in the music. Here I think I'm connecting it because I'm playing the phrase. That's the whole first line, so I would connect it. There wouldn't be any silence there. There is pedal at measure 13. I missed it before. If you want to run all that together. That's fine. If you want to do that, that's fine. But lift it up there in the last measure. Don't pedal. That needs to clean it out. We need to clean all this out because we're getting ready to do the melody again. Let's play this together very slowly and double check all the notes and the rhythms. I will go ahead and pedal it to show the pedaling on this because I think you can hear the notes clear enough. So I'll give us 3 counts. I'm not going to do any dynamics, but I'll do most everything else. 1, ready, go.